What's up, Taiwan? I'm Laurel Stewart with the news from here in Taiwan and around the world. China's Taiwan Affairs Office says it firmly opposes Taiwan President Lai Ching-te's visit to the US state of Hawaii, where he's been pushing Taiwan's soft power. Our reporter Rick Lowett is travelling with the president and reports on whether Lai's approach is enough to turn Beijing's narrative on its head.
Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te is wrapping up the first full day of his Pacific trip with a banquet for Taiwan's overseas community here in Honolulu, Hawaii. It's been a busy day for Lai. He's been pushing his country's soft power. But the message from Taiwan and its friends here is, we are all part of the Indo-Pacific and we're stronger together. In the run-up to this trip, China has been painting Lai as stirring tensions and saying that the US is playing with fire by allowing him to visit and that this could be seen as supporting Taiwan independence, a red line for Beijing. But Lai has maintained that Taiwan has the right to go out in the world and that it is a force for good, something he's put into practice at the start of this trip.
The Hawaii state flag also represents the closer and stronger ties that Taiwan and Hawaii will share moving forward. With our shared Austronesian heritage, we are like family.
Lai visited the region's biggest museum, highlighting Taiwan's connection to the Pacific, and he also shared Taiwan's disaster response experiences and skills at Hawaii's Emergency Operations Center.
Both Hawaii and Taiwan are also beautiful islands that face challenges from natural disasters, and I look forward to deepening our exchanges in various areas.
By reviving and strengthening cultural connections and by showing its friends and allies firsthand how it can help, Lai is helping to turn Beijing's narrative that he's a regional troublemaker on its head. John Su and Rick Lowett in Honolulu, Hawaii for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's presidential office has thanked the Biden administration for approving the sale of a new arms package. The US government on Friday approved a sale of military equipment worth nearly $400 million. The deal includes spare parts for F-16 fighter jets, as well as advanced radar and communications systems for the military. The presidential office says the purchase will allow Taiwan to deepen its self-defense capabilities. China says the arms sale violates the One China principle and is inconsistent with US leaders' commitment to not support Taiwan independence. Taiwanese baseball players have come out on top again. The country's junior team has returned to Taiwan after winning the Under-12 Asian Baseball Championship in Japan, right on the heels of the national team winning the WBSC Premier 12 tournament. Wesley Lewis has more.
A hero's welcome. After winning the Under-12 Asian Baseball Championship in Japan, Taiwan's Little League baseball team has returned with a trophy. At Songshan Airport in Taipei, their friends and relatives greet them with colorful wreaths and cheers. The team beat South Korea in the final match. 166-centimeter tall captain Zhou Zhenquan said height was a major obstacle his team had to overcome.
因为韩国队每个身高都170、180，所以我觉得我们很厉害。没有畏惧别人比你高的。对。
Stepping up to the challenge was pitcher Huang Liyuan. His winning pitch carried his team to victory and earned him the Most Valuable Player award. Huang also thanked his teammates for how they played.
队友先把分数打回来，这样就没有压力，我会比较轻松。 专心面对打者，教练说什么就按照。那你觉得你都有达到吗？有。
Between the ages of 10 and 12, many of these young athletes are just getting started, but they are already playing at major international tournaments with the pressure of hometown fans. Their head coach said he offered them some much-needed encouragement.
比较烦恼的、比较担心的是，他们大多都是第一次参加正式的国际赛，怕会缺场。那么一场一场打下来之后，一直不断的在旁边提醒他们，就是享受比赛。
Now back home, Team Taiwan is basking in the glory of their victory. Their win comes off the back of Taiwan's national baseball team winning the WBSC Premier 12 tournament, something the Little League coach says gave his team just the right amount of encouragement to bring home their own win. James Lin and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwanese Olympic medalist Huang Hsiao-wen is taking home gold at the World Boxing Cup finals. Huang defeated her final opponent 4-1 in the women's 54-kilogram division at the International Boxing Association's Championship Cup in England. Her victory caps a standout year for Taiwanese boxers after Lin Yuting won a gold medal at the Paris Olympics. Lin was notably absent from the World Boxing Cup this year, having withdrawn due to the organisers' gender testing policies. Negotiators hoping to form a treaty curbing global plastic production have been met with pushback at a UN summit in South Korea.
Plastics are not convenience. Plastics are poison. Every piece that we allow to produce without limits is a direct assault on our health, on our nature, and our children. For those blocking progress, you are allowing this crisis to fester, and it will kill us.
A treaty put forward by Panama calls for a significant reduction in plastic production. The proposal already has the support of over 100 countries, but some oil-producing countries want a treaty that only focuses on plastic waste. Despite Sunday being the last day of scheduled talks, a session to finalise the deal has not yet been set. While negotiations to tackle global plastic waste come to an end, many people in developing countries say ditching plastic isn't a viable option. John Van Trieste has this report.
From the moment she wakes up, Manila resident Gemma Garulaga is surrounded by plastic packets. Like many in the Philippines, she and her family rely on these small, affordable packs for most of their daily needs. In her case, even her income depends on them, as they're a mainstay in the store she's run here for 10 years.
Sa pagising sa umaga, andyan na yung magtututbrush ka, sachet ang gamit, magkakape. Yung anak ko magmamaylong, magagata, sachet pa rin ang gamit.
These packs are a lifeline in a country where many earn barely more than $10 a day. But the plastic waste quickly adds up, even just in one household.
Heto po yung mga nagamit na namin ngayong araw na to. Magsimula sa shampoo, kape, mga sachet na mga condiments, mga sachet na fudge bar, tinapay, sesto. Yan ang mga usually araw-araw namin ginagamit.
At the national level, this makes for an ecological catastrophe. In 2019, the environmental group Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives found the Philippines goes through 163 million a day. Much of this waste piles up into mountains, and much of the rest also clogs the country's waterways and is washed out to sea. The University of Oxford's Our World in Data project found in 2022 that more than one-third of the world's plastic waste in the ocean comes from the Philippines, making it the world's top polluter in this category. This might soon change. Though the Philippines doesn't currently regulate packaging, the UN is working out global rules on plastic waste. The deadline for talks on a worldwide treaty is Sunday. But in households across the Philippines, like the one Gemma Garulaga manages, new rules would lead to a tough situation.
Oo nga po't masama ang plastic sa ating environment, pero ito ay nagdudulot ng mga pagbaha, pollution. Ano naman po ang choice ng mga maliliit na mamamayan? Kasi yun lang po ang kaya nilang ibilhin, yung mga maliliit na sachet.
For many in the Philippines, ditching plastic may be a privilege. And if global rules limiting plastic do take effect, people like Gemma Garulaga will be among those facing the biggest consequences. Leon Lian and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
One person has died after Myanmar's navy fired on Thai fishing boats. Thailand's defense ministry says 2 of 15 fishing vessels were fired at while operating in Myanmar's waters on Saturday. 3 Thai fishers jumped into the water, causing one of them to drown. Myanmar's navy detained 31 fishers from one of the vessels. Thai officials say they're working on securing their release. Myanmar's military junta has not responded to the incident. A young woman in eastern Taiwan is being tattooed as part of an agonizing Indigenous rite of passage. Sandy Chi looks at how these lifelong markings span generations.
Tap after tap. Luzum Guzaza is enduring hours of pain as she takes part in an important ancient ritual. This is her Kiva-chik ceremony, a rite of passage in her family and the Taiwan Indigenous community.
我们家族最早是可以追溯到从屏东一个很古老的部落叫把丹影迁下来的一个家族，然后在台东金轮溪流域这里自己建立起一个部落，所以我们家算是部落中的部落领袖。
To get this tattoo, ink is hammered into the skin using a chisel and a striking stick. It's an ancient traditional application, and one that's far more painful than those performed with modern tattoo guns. But for Luzum Guzaza, it's worth it. The tattoo will last a lifetime and taps into centuries of tradition. When it's done, it will earn her the right to lead her family in Taimali village in southeastern Taiwan's Taidong County.
在你要接头目位置之前，你一定要做完手纹。做完手纹，未来你就可以慢慢的、顺利的去接他爸爸的位置。然后在整个纹身的过程中是很重要的，尤其是他被纹身的痛，他会慢慢去体会到纹身结束。
This method is part of a sacred tradition for Taiwan's indigenous Taiwan community, where the intricate patterns are thought to connect people to their ancestors. For years, the tattoos were a cultural identifier for Taiwan's indigenous groups, and one that the Japanese worked to stamp out during colonial rule.
就是禁止纹身，不漂亮。他们说不漂亮，然后变到最后就变成会把这个纹身的
80 years after Japan's departure, Tsuji Patires is the last artist in Taiwan carrying on the tradition. He taught himself the technique by studying Taiwan culture and the methods used by indigenous Maori tattooists in New Zealand. Tsuji Patires and Luzum Guzaza's family talked for months. They dug deep into their past to decide what symbols and patterns to go with. Inspiration came from Luzum Guzaza's grandmother, who died years ago, the last person in the family to receive the tattoos.
这次比较属于我们家族的图腾，就是人形纹跟太阳纹会跟其他家族有区隔。我们的不一样的地方就是人形纹下面这里有一个像山的图形，就是人形纹下面有站着一个山。因为我们部落叫 Vuki 它是在很深山的一个地方。
All of Luzum Guzaza's family have gathered on this day, dressed in their traditional attire to witness her keep the tradition alive.
这是女性成长最重要的一个过程，它表示可以承接传宗接代的责任，另一方面也代表她的贞洁。再其次是，通常是希望有贵族的家族能够把他们自己属于家族的纹路、图案，透过纹手传言下去。
For Luzum Guzaza, becoming her family's next leader and taking part in this ancient tradition is about identity.
当我把纹身纹在手上，我也是很直接的跟人家阐述我自己的身份是什么，所以眼光跟压力一定会更多。但是就是今天这个仪式有让我感受到说有这些压力，但是我身边还是有很多人陪着我。
Now imprinted with tattoos that will last a lifetime, Luzum Guzaza is prepared to shoulder the responsibilities of leadership. When she takes the helm, she'll look the part while carrying on traditions that span generations and go much further than skin deep. Alex Chen and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Laurel Stewart. Take care and see you next time.